we'll start that in a second.
Okay. All right. Hey, good people. Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. Wisdom Wednesday. Welcome to all of you. We're just so happy that you could join us on Wisdom Wednesday. We have been anticipating our time together. We've been thinking about y'all ever since last week, and preparing and just really mindful of the content tonight, right? Because we'll be talking about betrayal tonight.
Yeah.
And that's a little tender, you know. That's a little sensitive. It's a little sensitive. But we're going to be discussing all things pertaining to wisdom when you're dealing with a betrayal. Mm-hmm. And if you're out there on this live, or if you're watching this tonight and you have experienced betrayal, we have some information for you. We want to give you some knowledge tonight. But we're also going to get to some good news as well. We got some good news for all of us. I am Dr. Lakiba Williams. I am the owner and director of Fresh Hope Counseling Center. I am an adult educator. I am a licensed professional counselor. And I am just happy to be with all of you this evening.
Yeah, I am Lauren. I am a licensed associate professional counselor with Fresh Hope. I'm also Lakiba's daughter.
Yes.
If you don't already know that, I have to share that. And we are excited to be with you. So if you're here and you think that somebody can benefit from our talks with you tonight, go ahead and send this to them. You know, they're going to be like, what's going on? Just say, don't worry about it. Just click it and come on in.
Yeah.
So we want you to just DM some friends, text the link, whatever you need to do. Because what we're talking about tonight, we think is extremely important. And we want to share it with you guys. Hi, everybody that's coming in.
Yes, and what we're going to talk about tonight is for the women and the men.
Yes.
Or the women's and the men's.
Yeah.
It's for everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So you can share it to your loved ones, your friends, your family members, whoever. So we're happy to be here with you tonight. I'm going to go ahead. I did this in the last session that we had. Hey, everybody. Hi. Thank you for coming. So I'm going to read a disclaimer. It's really important for us that we start off reading this. So I'm going to go ahead and start. This episode or live should not be used as a substitute for medical or mental health advice. Individuals are advised to seek independent medical advice, counseling, and or therapy from a healthcare professional with respect to any medical condition, mental health issue, or health injury, including matters discussed on this episode. So we wanted to put that in there. Hey, everybody, because it's really important to know that we're going to be talking about some serious stuff. And if you feel like this is getting deep, we want to encourage you to seek help. Seek a mental health professional for yourself. Even if you realize that it's physical, we want you to seek medical professional help. So we wanted to put that in there. Yes. Just to start off today, how y'all feeling?
Yes.
How y'all doing? Y'all excited?
That is our disclaimer. We also want to talk about Wisdom Wednesday being our desire and our effort to bring zero cost to consumer information about mental health and wellness. So tonight, there is no cost to you. It's zero cost. We are bringing to you research. We're bringing to you some information that we have gleaned and that we want to share with you that is personal and professional. So, we come with the tea tonight. We come with the tea. So if that's what you was looking for, it is here tonight.
Yeah.
We're coming with it tonight.
Yeah. The thunder, that's what they said.
The thunder.
The thunder.
You
can put in some thunder emojis if you want to. I'm also going to read our mission statement. So we sat together and we wrote this together. And we want to reiterate it every single time that we come to you with this information, because we want to make sure that we make it clear what we are trying to do in this space. So I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. So our purpose for creating Wisdom Wednesday is to extend to you the wisdom that we both have acquired over the years from personal experience, academic theory and research, and from our wonderful clients whom we have the pleasure of walking through life with. We're very thankful for you both,
yes.
For you guys. We hope to create a safe space to encourage you to act wisely and to make the choices that best align with your values and to lead you to your true self. That's what we are about, leading you to your true self. All of your answers are within. So we hope that the wisdom that we share with you tonight helps lead you to that. That's our purpose for being here.
Because it's the collective wisdom. It's the wisdom that we all have inside of ourselves.
Right.
We are all operating in that wisdom. We all have a digital download. We got that divine download of wisdom.
Right.
We just want to encourage all of us to come to it and know that we know what we know. We know what it is.
Right.
We know it when we've been betrayed. We know what it is.
Right.
As a matter of fact, we know, our soul knows. Now our conscious mind, the conscious mind is just trying to catch up, trying to get a clue. But your soul already knows.
That's good.
Well, what's your soul?
Right.
Your soul is your mind, will, and emotions. Yeah. So your soul knows. And we just want to make sure we're doing some soul care tonight, that we're all taking good care of our souls tonight. So we have an agenda for our time together, and we kind of introduced it in our first episode. We're going to begin with knowledge, because that's important. We need to get that knowledge. Knowledge is power, right? So we're going to lay out what betrayal is. We want you to know what to expect tonight. And then we're going to bring all of us into some understanding so that we know why the knowledge is important. Because we understand things. The light bulb kind of goes off.
Yeah.
But then that applied knowledge is wisdom.
Yes.
And so we're going to end with the wisdom. The wisdom to know what to do and then go on and do it. We're going to give you permission tonight to whatever you learn tonight, whatever is for you, because what's for you is what is for you.
Yeah.
You're going to be on this call and you probably thinking, I wish somebody else was on this call. But it's not for them if they're not on here. And if you've invited them and they say, no, I'm good, then this is for you.
Right.
This is for you to treasure in your heart. But the knowledge we want to share with you is, okay, what is betrayal? Lauren, you going to tell us what it is?
So as we start this, I want you to be thinking about what brought you here, aside from our beautiful faces and personalities, but just related to betrayal. So I want you to be having that in your mind. You don't have to put it in the chat. You can just hold it in your heart, but I want you to have that at the forefront of your mind as we're working through this. So just think about some times that you've experienced betrayal, because what we're going to be talking about is applicable to you. So let's start with just the knowledge. Betrayal is any action or an action that may violate a contract of a committed relationship. So I'm going to read that part again. Betrayal is any action or an action that may violate the contract of a committed relationship. Committed relationships are a contract of a mutual trust, respect, nurturance, and protection.
Let's stop right there.
Right.
So we're talking about betrayal being any action or inaction. And we just sit right there. So we're talking about omission or commission.
Right.
So you could be thinking through your mind of a whodunit list of folks who they did it.
Right.
They on the whodunit. They did it.
Who didn't do it?
Or hey,
Who did
they
do
did it? Or what they didn't do.
Right.
What they promised they were going to do.
Right.
And they didn't. You entered into an agreement. There was a contract. There was an agreement. We said we were going to do this. We said we were going to be together. We said we were going to, we said we was going to ride with each other. And then we said we was friends. We was friends.
Yeah.
But then, it just kind of fell off. But that's betrayal, right? So it's action or inaction.
Right. When that violation happens, the trust is broken, destroying the feelings of safety and security in the relationship. Trust is earned, respect is given, and loyalty is demonstrated. Betrayal of any one of those is to lose all three. So essentially, when you lose one, you lose all three, right? So if I give you respect and you betray me, my trust is taken away, right? And my loyalty is questioned now. I'm deciding, are you loyal to me? Should I be loyal to you? It kind of stirs the pot when betrayal is amidst. I'll let you go.
Well, and it also, all of us have experienced it, because betrayal is a part of the human experience.
Right.
So none of us escape it.
Right.
And I'm calling them the triplets tonight. I'm calling them the triplets. So the trust, the respect, the loyalty, any one of them violated because of a betrayal, all three of them. Trust, loyalty, because we start to wonder, okay, what's wrong with me? Why did she do that to me? Or why did he do that to me? Why did he hurt me? Why did she hurt me? We start to internalize because we feel a sense of ourself kind of falling apart.
Right.
We feel ourselves just kind of coming apart.
Security.
Yeah.
Well, when you've been betrayed, the security is broken. I almost think about it like the base, right? Or a bridge.
Yeah.
You're standing on that bridge of security that you've built with a person, whether it's a friend, family member, a partner, and when you've experienced that betrayal, I want you to just kind of envision the bridge kind of being broken.
Yeah.
Right? That was your security. That was your rock. That's what you're standing on. Well, at least that's what you think you're standing on. Hello?
Yeah.
We're going to get into that. But just to get a visual going of what it actually looks like to be betrayal. So we started off with what knowledge about what betrayal is. I'll let you talk about the biblical portion of it.
There's the Bible theme, the dictionary Bible theme describes it this way. Betrayal is the treacherous exposing or deceiving of people by those they formerly trusted. It is usually associated with an enemy masquerading as a friend. Y'all know what I'm talking about. An enemy masquerading as a friend, or with a broken or abused relationship. Betrayal was suffered by Jesus Christ.
That's what Jamie Foxx said. Did y'all see that this week? Jamie Foxx said, if they'll do Jesus like that, they'll do me like that.
So we can expect it too. We just get so sidelined by it.
Yeah.
It throws us off.
Yeah, it really does.
But it does. That's what it does.
Yeah.
But we came tonight to normalize it.
Yeah.
To say that it happens. And when you're in relationship with a predator can make just about anybody pray. Anybody. Because we'll be thinking, oh, well, I'm educated. I'm too smart. Or I've been in this world for umpteen years. Why did I let this person get over on me? Listen, if somebody is a predator, they can make just about anybody pray. So what we want to tell you tonight is if you're out there, don't beat yourself up about it. Go on and love yourself. Heavy on the self-love tonight. Because if that's their MO, if that's what they were setting out to do, listen, predators, that's just what they do. But good news is tonight, not everybody is like that. That's why we start this talk off with, hey, good people. Right. Because there are good people in the world. And Lauren and I, we've just decided, and I hope you'll join us, we've decided we're just going to believe that everybody is doing the best that they can.
Right.
We're going to believe that everybody that we come across paths with, they're just doing the best that they can. Now, their best is their best. And we just want to focus on doing our best. So as we understand what betrayal is, I think conceptualizing it that way, these folks are doing the best that they can. I'm just going to work through it. I'm going to work with it. But I'm not going to sit here and stew in this. Because betrayal is, in fact, a part of the human experience. Yeah. We've laid the foundation out for the knowledge of it. It's the action or the inaction of the breaking of an agreement. It's a committed relationship, but something happened to break it. And that is the betrayal. So then, now that we've set that foundation for the knowledge of it, we want to get a better understanding of it. How do we come to apply that, like as it relates to understanding? Lauren, help us to understand what it looks like.
So a part of understanding betrayal is understanding how it affects you. When you've been betrayed, to talk about what are the effects of this action or inaction, right? How is this affecting me personally? That's where you got to start. A lot of time we want to jump into action, which a lot of time is we want to respond to the betrayal. We want to act in a way that makes somebody feel the way that we felt. But we're sharing with you the wisdom is the first piece, is that you want to understand what's happened, right? And so when you have experienced betrayal, it's likely that you will experience PTSD. Right? Hello?
It's
I
heavy.
know, that's heavy. That's why we put the disclaimer out there at first. Post-traumatic stress disorder, right? And so you have to be clinically diagnosed by a clinician. So we're not diagnosing anybody tonight. I want to make that clear. But if you start to look over your shoulder at people, your trust is kind of thin, maybe you're a little irritable.
You're talking about relational trauma.
Right, relational trauma. You're a little irritable.
Yeah.
When somebody asks something of you, you're like, ooh, did I respond like that? Most likely you've experienced something, some betrayal, right? And it's hard to see who's who and what's what. Has anybody felt like that? You don't know who's coming or going.
The fog sets in.
Right.
And the acronym there is fear, obligation, and guilt.
Okay.
So it just kind of sits on us when we're going through these relationship issues. And then when the betrayal happens and you've become aware of it, the fog lifts.
Right.
And the fear that you used to feel, you're not scared of losing the person no more.
Right.
The obligation,
you don't have it.
You was loyal.
Yeah.
You're not feeling that as much as you were before.
Right.
The guilt,
right.
What's wrong with me? I was trying to do the best that I can. Why did they do me like that? The fog begins to lift because the betrayal actually, once you can sit with yourself, as Lauren said, and just kind of say, no, this happened to me. This is real. I'm going through it.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So something else, another effect that relational trauma can have on you is depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
Right? You can, if you've experienced some of these things, you can either put your hand up in the chat or you can just raise your hand wherever you are. Acceptance is the first step, right? So recognizing that I'm experiencing, it's difficult for me to do things after a betrayal. I'm not as motivated as I once was, right? For this period of time in my life. Just the acceptance of that, the acknowledgement of it, understanding what's happening with you is comfort within itself. Because a lot of things that sometimes when a betrayal happens, like we said, your foundation is shaken. So you don't know what's going on. You can't really, differentiate between your left and your right, your head from your tail. So when you're able to say, I'm depressed.
Yeah.
I'm anxious.
I'm going through it.
I'm having a moment.
I'm not okay.
Right.
And it's okay to not be okay.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not okay.
Right.
How you doing, girl? You good?
I'm not okay.
No.
Do you want to talk about it? Not at this moment.
No, I'm talking to my therapist. She is really helping me with that.
Right.
Or I'm talking to my life coach.
Right.
She is on point. She helps me. Yeah. She helps me.
Yes.
Yeah, once it lifts, you can see it.
Yeah.
You can see it because you already knew it. Your soul knew it anyway.
Right.
And yes, Jane, you can't unsee what you see.
Right.
You just can't.
Right.
Yeah.
So just to piggyback off of anxiety, you might notice that when you are you're doing your everyday routine, right? You're going to work, you're with the kids, or you're around your family, or you might go on an outing with your friends. You start to realize that you're a bit more anxious. You're waiting for everything to be over. You're worried about who's coming and who's going. It's okay to not be okay. These are if any of this is resonating with you, it's just understanding, right? We talked last week about just being in your body and paying attention. Being present, being mindful is what I work with a lot with my clients. And so recognizing what's coming up with for you in that moment. Once you do that, then you're able to work towards fixing it. When you can say what's going on, then you can say, okay, that's what I need to work on.
Well, if you name it, you can tame it.
Right, absolutely.
When you name it,
you can tame it.
If you name it, you can tame it.
Right.
Okay, I'm going through it right now. We also want to share with you what are the forms of betrayal?
Right.
What are the forms of betrayal? Because there are many forms of betrayal. There are a lot of things that can happen in our lives that we can experience as betrayal. So when we talk about betrayal, for most people, what comes up to the surface is sexual infidelity. That's the first thing people tend to think about.
Right.
Is this person cheated on me and that was a betrayal. But betrayal is that, and it is so much more.
Yeah.
So it's a violation of trust, respect, and loyalty that invites bitterness, anger, and resentment. So it's two sets of triplets, right? It's that I don't trust you. I don't respect you anymore. You're not loyal. I can't give you the loyalty that I used to give you. That's the initial reaction, right? But that pain is turning you into the same thing.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is sit with that pain. You don't have to turn into the mess that messed with you. You don't have to do that. Let's just sit with it and you stay true to you. Lauren talked about you staying with your values. We got to stay with our values, continue to be who we really are, our true selves.
Yeah.
Forms of betrayal. Conditional commitment. non-sexual affairs, emotional affairs, they are just as damaging. Lying, that's a betrayal. Maybe, your girl said she was gonna pick you up and y'all was gonna hang out or whatever, and she just lied. And you see her on live with somebody else out on the belt line and having skating and having such a good time, and you wonder, she lied.
Right.
Why?
Right.
No need, but that is a betrayal.
Right.
That is a betrayal. Forming coalitions against your partner. There's no reason to have a coalition against your partner. So I'm talking about my partner to somebody else, and I'm having long conversations about how talk to your partner.
Right.
Absenteeism, coldness, just being cold. Cancel culture, right? It's a betrayal. We got that going on these days. Disrespect. Yeah, disrespecting people. We said last week, you never know what somebody is going through.
Yeah.
You never know what somebody's going through. We ought to all handle everybody with kid gloves these days.
Right.
We ought to handle everybody real gingerly.
Right.
Hey, you go to church, you see somebody, they not with their partner. You don't ask them where they partner. You ask them, hey,
Not
you
your
good?
business.
Are you good?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Right.
You all right?
Right.
I'm so glad to see you.
Right.
You never know what people are going through. So we want to handle everybody with that gentleness and that compassion, because you never know what another person is going through. Lauren, you want to share some of the other ones?
Sure.
These are forms of betrayal.
Right. Unfairness. I think we've all experienced a time when we felt like that just wasn't fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You can't conceptualize why that would happen. Well, we're here to share with you that in fact is the definition. It's unfair.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
No, it's
right?
not. It's
Except
not.
that as a betrayal, understanding that wasn't what was supposed to happen, but it did.
Yeah.
And it's a part of the human experience. We always want to
Yes.
come back to that.
Yes.
Selfishness, right? Can be a betrayal, especially when the contract is broken, the agreement is broken to be selfless.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
You put all of your, you're present when the person is talking to you, whether it's a friend or a family member. Then when you call, what happens, y'all? Oh, well, I gotta go and I gotta do this and I need to leave, and okay, well, I hope you go. Well, every time you call, I'm here for you. Right? Selfishness, a form of betrayal.
Yeah.
Breaking promises. I promise that
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this. I swear. Right?
Yeah.
Physical, emotional, verbal, and spiritual abuse. Okay?
All betrayals.
And we also want to add neglect.
Yeah.
Neglect. So that was what Dr. Lakiba was talking about, Mom was talking about earlier, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes people do things to us and then sometimes they withhold.
Yeah.
That's a form of betrayal.
Yeah.
So we wanted to just start with the understanding, second with the understanding so that you can be aware.
Yeah.
And you can have language for some of the betrayal that you've experienced or that you think that you're experiencing.
Yeah.
And so we just wanted to add that in there because gaining wisdom, we have to have the understanding of what's going on.
Yeah.
So we've got an example here of betrayal. Let you talk about that, Mom.
Yeah. So we had an example. I know everybody on this call has an example of betrayal.
Right.
And we want to say this. If you promise somebody that you're going to do something, everybody on this call, everybody on this live has the right to change your mind. So if you change your mind, that's okay. Just communicate it. Hey, I said I was going to do so-and-so. I'm actually not able to do it, but I just wanted to let you know. A lot of times we feel this obligation and we overcommit ourselves. And then the person feels betrayed and the relationship just kind of goes by the wayside. But we're giving everybody on this live permission. If you need to change your mind for your own, if your energy budget is tapped and you just don't have the energy to go do, provide, give, just say it. I'm not able to give it, sis. I love you, but I thought I was going to be able to do it, but I'm not. That'll make it, at least from your end, that'll make it okay. I say this all the time. All I can do is all I can do, and that's all I can do. So if I can't do it, well, then I just can't do it. And that's okay. We want to share a story with you. And you can find this story on velvetlashes.com. It's a short story, but it's about a betrayal. In the story, Caitlin is the author of this story, and she says this. The author of the story is Caitlin And she shares this. She says, when I was in the 8th grade, I told one of my good friends that I had a crush on a boy. And although my family had wisely advised me not to trust her, you can guess what happened. She blabbed. She told everyone my secret. And y'all know how 8th grade is. When you're talking about 8th grade, that's when people first start liking people. Mm-hmm. And you tell your friend you like somebody, and then, man, it's just out there in the streets. Mm-hmm. And you're feeling violated. Mm-hmm. So that's those early betrayals that we're talking about. She said in the story, the gossip is spread like wildfire. Mm. And before she knew it, she found herself standing in front of her locker, being mocked and teased by her nemesis, her bully since 3rd grade. So this person has been bullying her 3rd grade to 8th grade. And boy, that betrayal, she said, was the apex of 5 years of adolescent backstabbing and drama. So at that moment, Caitlin says she reached her limit, and she did something she said she wasn't proud of. Mm-hmm. She says she smacked the bully across the face. Mm-hmm. And because she hit her so hard, her head hit the locker. Oh, so Lord. We don't condone violence. And Caitlin says in the story, she was like, I really regret that I did that. But that was years and years of being bullied and that kind of thing. Right. And she just, before she knew it, that's why we're saying, take those moments when you experience a betrayal. Take a moment to just sit with yourself, right, and do and flesh out what is in line with your values. Right. This wasn't in line with her values, and that 8th grade self is just toe up from the floor up. She said, fast forward 18 years later, a betrayal happened again from a family member, and those unhealed betrayals over time started to back up on us. That's why it's important to get an appointment with a therapist or a life coach to start process that hurt.
Can I add something to this?
Please.
So when you have unprocessed wounds from a betrayal, a manifestation of that is control.
Yeah.
So control is a mask that we can wear when we've been betrayed and we haven't taken care of that, right? So you want to do everything in your life to never be betrayed again, right? So when we show up...
Any controlling people out there? Anybody control? Oh, it's just us? It's just us working through that? Oh, my goodness.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely. And when you operate from that space of being controlling, it can look like, I don't need nobody.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
It's me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
I got this. Yeah. I don't never need nobody. We were never created to never need anybody. We were created to commune.
Hardwired
with each other. Hardwired. We need it. Quite literally, there's studies that have been shown that we are better both physically, mentally, and emotionally when we are surrounded by people that we love and that we care about, we feel safe with. So we want to tell you, put down the control and just pick up the wisdom. Mm-hmm. Put down the control and think about some of the things that you've learned. But it takes for you to sit with yourself, to process what's actually happened. Not to just stuff it down and say, I'm going to be good. Yeah. I ain't never know him, or I ain't never know her. She wasn't my friend in the first place. Who are you talking about? I say that sometimes I'm working on that. That's just me. Somebody will bring somebody up. I'm like, who's that? Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. But what I really should be saying is, oh, okay. Thinking about what happened. Processing what happened.
So you can heal.
So that you can heal.
Yeah, so
and then you can be healthy in the relationships that you form in the future.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have to allow the things of the past to control the outcome of what's about to happen. Right?
Well, we're getting this material from the book, Heal Your Wounds and Find Your True Self. Mm-hmm. The author of the book is Lise Bourbeau. Mm-hmm. Again, that title is Heal Your Wounds and Find Your True Self. Mm-hmm. In that book, Lise talks about the 5 wounds of the soul, and we're going to name those. We're probably going to do an episode on all those wounds of the soul, but tonight we're talking about betrayal. The 5 wounds of the soul are abandonment, humiliation, betrayal, injustice, and rejection. I'm going to name them again. I'm going to put them out again. Betrayal is the one we're talking about tonight. Injustice, rejection, abandonment, and humiliation. Yes, you definitely need some alone time to process these things, Prentice, most definitely. And because that's where the wisdom is, on the inside of you. And spiritual people connect with the Creator.
Right.
To get the wisdom and the grace to move on through. Because truth be told, we can't expect anybody to meet our needs all the time.
Yeah.
And in this human experience, we're going to experience that betrayal. It's just going to happen. Lee says this, the wound of betrayal, when we experience it, we put on the mask of control. All right? We experience that wound of betrayal as children. When we experience the betrayal, that creates this controller mask, and we create that mask to protect ourselves. But the controller isn't our true self. Who we really are.
That's the good news.
Yes, that's not you. That's not us.
Right.
That's just the mask that we wear to protect ourselves from further hurt.
Right.
And what we want to do is encourage everybody on this call that there is a solution for it.
Right.
We told you we got good news.
Right.
The wound is betrayal tonight. The mask, and we all know about masks because since COVID we've been wearing the mask. We was wearing the mask for a long time.
Right.
We take the mask of control off. How do you do that? How do you do that? Well, you let go.
Let it go, let it go.
Let it go, let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, bag lady.
Yeah.
Bag lady.
Yeah.
You're going to hurt your back.
You don't want to be a bag lady or a bag man.
Yeah. Dragging all them bags like that. I guess nobody ever told you all you can't hold on to is you. So you got to go into yourself and hold on to yourself and say you're going to be okay.
Right.
And then you got your community of people around you and they're saying to you, hey, you're going to be okay.
Right.
We going to be okay.
Right.
Yeah, we going to be okay.
Absolutely. So that was the understanding. So we've gotten the knowledge.
Yes.
We've gotten the understanding. Now we want to get to the good stuff,
Yes.
the wisdom. So when we acknowledge, we talk about what betrayal is. Okay, I think I've been betrayed. Then we get the understanding of how it's affected us and what's going on. Well, then we apply the wisdom. So now what do we do, right? Some of the things that we want to share with you, you can start today. So that's why when we started, I said, I want you to think about when you've been betrayed or if you felt like you're being betrayed, right? I'm just thinking about my own life. So what you can start with is just the acknowledgement of the betrayal. A verbal expression is good, right?
Yeah.
If you're not comfortable with a verbal expression, I think somebody said, I want to be alone or can I be alone? You can be alone. It's probably best, especially if the verbal expression is helpful because it kind of stamps what you're going through. But if you're not in the space, if it's coming to you and you're at work or you somewhere where you don't want to just say, I've been betrayed because my best friend stabbed me in the back. You don't want to say that. You can write it down, right? Just some sort of expression. That's the first
You got to do
thing.
that.
Yeah.
Ayanna Van Zant says this. She says, your pain needs a witness. Your pain needs a witness. So y'all remember testimony service? You get up there and you tell her the goodness, what you've been through and how you've been delivered, how you came through it. Your pain needs a witness. That's how we move on through it. Because people don't know what you're going through. There's somebody that's a safe space or a soft place. That's why we're creating this platform. And just know we're coming with some thunder every week. Meet us here because we're going to be talking about these real life issues. In a safe space where you can begin to process that. You mean I'm not alone? No, you're not. We all deal with betrayal.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we want you to acknowledge the betrayal first,
Yes.
preferably with a verbal expression.
Yes.
Secondly, we want you to write your feelings in a journal. I talk to my clients all the time, especially I have clients in school who work and they have to write a lot or they type a lot and they're like, I just don't have the time. You're worth the time. You have to corner off the time.
Yes.
It's almost a non-negotiable because we can't meet every day, all day, talk all day. You have to verbally express it yourself. Get that out. Make sure that you're keeping a record because some of that is, you're your own witness sometimes.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So you can look back. I've looked at
Validate
my journal.
yourself.
I've looked at my journal. Where I've been fuels me in the present moment.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Looking how far I came, how far my faith or my execution of the things that I need to do for myself has brought me. It fuels me to keep going, to press forward. Right? So record. Write down what you're going through. Third, we want you to process your emotions. Practice mindfulness, the act of being present and fully engaged in the moment at hand. It's hard. Who wants to sit in the moment that sucks? Nobody. But we're encouraging you to do that because that is how you're healthy. Sometimes you have to take it in doses. a lot of times when you're experiencing a betrayal, you're grieving.
Yeah.
You're grieving the thought of what you thought something was going to be.
The idea.
You can only grieve in increments.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't take the whole thing, and that's
I'm
okay.
not saying my clients schedule time to do it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Schedule.
What time works for you?
Yeah.
If you got kids when they sleep, it's
Yeah.
nighttime,
Yeah.
right? Or you say, okay, you're talking to your friends, I'm gonna have to call you back.
Yeah.
I gotta go for a walk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even if it's just by yourself in your room.
Yeah.
Setting a timer. Because
Yeah.
you got things to do, places to be, things to
You
accomplish.
gotta work. You gotta,
Right.
feed the folks and
Yeah.
Oh,
make
but-
money.
You gotta
Go
make
to the
the
gym.
coin. Gotta make the coin.
Do whatever you need
And heal.
to do.
And that is a priority.
Right.
And a therapist, a licensed professional counselor, a life coach, those are the folks that, a mentor,
Right.
somebody that's just an elder. Man, just to have somebody that's got 20, 25 years on you, that's been through some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Because of the intergenerational dynamic is so important. And so we want to just let everybody on this live know, hey, just reach out.
Right.
Make sure you're doing it.
Absolutely. So the next is acceptance.
Yeah.
I was just talking to a client about this today. Acceptance is a big piece, and that's I'd say that's what we fight the most in a betrayal. When you've been betrayed, it's just the acceptance that it's happened.
Yeah.
Because what does that mean for me? Well, you can navigate that once you've accepted it.
Yeah. Because
There's
you don't know
healing
what
on
it
the other
means.
side,
Yeah,
right? You don't know what it means, but you're gonna find out, right? And you have the tools
And you're gonna be
to do it.
okay.
Yeah, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
But first, you gotta accept it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So we want you to seek support or treatment,
Yeah.
right? Especially if some of these things are resonating with you, and you're observing, you're processing your emotions, and in that observation, you realize, I'm sad or experiencing symptoms of depression more than I am happy, or I'm anxious more than I feel at peace. Typically, you're going to experience that once you've experienced a betrayal.
Yeah.
If you're making marks of how you've been feeling and you realize this isn't typically how I am, we want to encourage you to get the help that you need. So seek support and treatment, kind of like Mom just said. Yeah. We want you to set boundaries.
Yes.
When you have experienced a betrayal.
Yes.
Number one, and you can help me with this. Number one, we want you to take, what have you learned from this? Set boundaries in a situation that might remind you of this one. So if you've experienced a betrayal with a friend, set a boundary there with your friends, right? If you need to take time to heal, or there are questions that you don't want to answer, or spaces that you don't want to experience right now because you've experienced a life-changing event, set a boundary.
It's okay.
The people that love you for who you are, they'll respect you.
Oh, yes.
They'll understand.
Yeah.
And those that don't, well, they probably don't need to be around at this time anyways, because you're vulnerable.
Yeah.
You're vulnerable.
Safe space, Shay, just like you said. Yes.
Absolutely. And then finally, we want you to take all of this. This is the wisdom. Recognize patterns.
Yes.
A lot of times we go back and forth about what could have been, what we could have did, how we should have known this, how we should have known that. We can't stand guilt and shame.
Oh!
It's like quicksand. It just keeps you stuck.
Yeah.
Right? We want you to get out of that.
Free.
Apply it to your future, because you have a future. If you didn't, we wouldn't be here breathing the air that we breathe in right now.
Yeah.
Recognize what's happened, accept it, observe what's going on, get the help that you need,
Don't beat yourself
and
up.
learn from it.
Yeah.
Learn from it. That's why journaling is helpful.
Yeah.
Because you can go back and say, ooh, okay, this situation is kind of looking like the one that I'm in.
Patterns.
Right.
So you're looking for patterns.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you want to look for patterns, and when you see them, going on and acknowledge them, and make the changes that you need to make that are in line with your values. You guys have hung in there with us to the 40-minute mark. We want to end with this. Lauren, what you got?
Okay. I think from this, I've got, don't betray yourself. When you've been betrayed, don't betray yourself. A lot of times when we've been betrayed, the first person that we want to leave is home, because it makes us feel like whatever we've got going on isn't good enough, so we've got to go elsewhere, right? Or we've got to figure out what's wrong with us. Don't leave yourself. You are who you need in that moment. More than anybody, more than anything, you and the Creator alone, and the Creator that's within inside you. So don't leave yourself. Go to the source, right? we talked about last week not being afraid to be alone. If you've experienced that kind of hurt, and we're not cookie cutter in here. Sometimes it's heart shattering, right? Pick up the pieces yourself. Who better to do it than you? You know where they go.
Oh,
right? You can love yourself better than anybody else can. That's part of the blessing, right, that we have in this experience on this side. And so when you've been betrayed, don't betray yourself. Stick it out. Love yourself through the hurt and the judgment and the pain and the frustration. You'll come out like this.
Yes.
With yourself.
Yes. Oh, yes.
It'll be a covering for the new experiences that you have in your life.
Wow.
Right? You'll gain a friend.
Well, the ending
confidant.
is a beginning, right?
Right, the ending
is
is
a beginning.
Absolutely.
Well, the transition is a new day. It's a new day.
Yes.
It's a new day.
Right.
I'd add to Lauren what she just shared is let it go. Work through it and let it go. Let it go. Because, and we haven't talked about forgiveness, the F word, because we're going to do a whole show on that.
Yeah.
But forgive.
Yeah.
Let it go. Why? Because you want to pull out that root of bitterness. Bitterness is deeply cultivated unforgiveness. And it'll defile many. Why forgive? Why let it go? Because it's going to cause trouble in your soul, not the other person's. And it defiles those around you. It defiles those around you. Because the bitterness takes root. And the changes in me, again, if I'm in a mood and I sneeze and I have a cold, Lauren's going to get it like last week. It's the same thing. So I want to do my soul work. I want to look within and make sure that I'm healing. And say, I'm not doing good, but I'm gonna be okay. But I won't be bitter. And anger is going to cause me to have health problems. And resentment is going to cause me to miss out on my blessing.
Right.
Let it go, people.
Right.
In the words of Miss Badu,
let it go.
Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Because you're going to hurt your back.
Right.
Dragging all them bags like that. Okay? Peace
Thank
and
you,
blessings,
guys. Thank
y'all.
you so much.
We will see you
for
next
sticking
week.
It out.
Yes. Next week, same time, same back channel.
Yeah.
We're going to surprise you next week. We're not even going to tell you what the title is until when, Lauren? When we going to let them know?
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. But come back. We got you.
Thank you guys for coming.
Let it go.
Yeah,
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Thank you. Thank you.